Did you have to do anything to protect the shoulder today? Did you wear anything in practice?
Yeah, no. Yeah, I'm not going to get into the details of everything, but shoulder's feeling good. Obviously practice day, feeling good. So, we'll be good going forward.
Emanuel came in here as an undrafted guy at a D2. How have you seen him grow into a guy that can really step in when a guy like Josh goes down?
Yeah, I think he's been a guy who's, I think it's tough in the situation anytime, like I said before, where you're just not getting as many reps. But I think he's somebody that's been dialed in at all times and learned from the opportunities he has had out there. And I feel like he's just got better and better every time. And obviously, I think his understanding of the offense is at an all-time high right now, and it's definitely something that I think everybody's kind of pushed him for, and he's responded well. So, I think obviously with Josh going out last game, it was good to see him out there, and I think he's a guy he's made some big-time plays when his number's been called.
What do you have to do to be really productive against a Brian Flores defense?
Yeah, it's a defense we've seen a good amount over the last couple of years, and it's a very good defense. I got a lot of respect for him and what they do, where they throw a lot of different looks at you, and I think they try and make it tough on offenses to figure out what they're doing and kind of get a beat on what they're throwing at you. But a lot of different personnel, a lot of different pressures, things like that. So something you just got to study throughout the week a good amount and understand that there will be some wrinkles in there, and you never really know what to expect when you get to the game. But just have a plan for a little bit of everything, and just stick to our rules and our fundamentals as an offense.
Does it feel like it's been a minute since you played a division game?
Definitely, yeah. It's been a weird schedule for us, playing obviously week 1 division game, and now I don't even know what week it is, 12, yeah, and so it's been a long time. So it's felt weird, and obviously we'll have a couple back-to-back right now. So definitely a stretch that we'll have to take advantage of.
I was looking at league-wide. It appears they're doing a lot of that backloading divisional schedules for a lot of teams. Do you think that adds some intrigue where going into this late in the season, really it's still anyone's division when it's made that way on the schedule?
Definitely. I think you look at the teams in our division, everybody's in it. Everybody's kind of got similar records, and obviously, like you said, we'll be playing everybody here at the back half. So definitely some games we're going to have to go out there and win. But like you said, the NFC North is wide open, and we got to take advantage of these games, go out there and go win it. But yeah, like you said, it's an interesting schedule.
Yeah, back to the shoulder. Does it, other than you not wanting to get hit there, does it limit you at all? I mean, it's not your throwing shoulder, so it doesn't really come and play all, does it?
No. I mean, obviously being the left side, it's something that you don't have to worry about. If it was the right side, it'd be a different story throwing the ball wise. But you just gotta try not to take as many hits, and obviously be smart. Scrambling and getting outside the pocket, things like that, not taking any unnecessary shots.
How hard is it to decide? Sorry, Wes, go ahead.
No,
go ahead, Wes.
As far as Chris Brooks, what did you think of that pass rep he had against on the play that led to Savion's catch, and also just what's the value of having someone like that can hold up in that kind of protection?
Yeah, no, it was awesome. I think as a running back, being able to step up and take on a linebacker right there coming at you full speed is big time. But it's something that we practice throughout training camp when these guys are doing one-on-one pass pro, and something that he takes a lot of I don't know what the word is. That's what he kind of prize his game on, is being able to come in those situations, and obviously he wants to be able to run the ball and catch the ball, but when you do stuff like that and put it on tape, I think it gives everybody more confidence to keep giving you the rock and give you some more opportunities. But Chris is a guy that it's whatever it takes. He's kind of earned his way in here and done some great things for us. But, that was a really big-time rep by him, and obviously led to, a big-time play down the field. So that's, it's just the mindset he has, whatever it takes, that he'll go out there and do it.
Do you see that in real time, that block, or did you not see it until film?
No, yeah, I don't see that in real time. That's one thing that, you come back to the sideline to see the pictures of it, and then obviously after the game you see. But, that was big time. He had a couple other, pass pro reps that, he's able to come across and see some pressures that might be hard to see for other guys. So he's done a great job in pass pro.
Jordan, overall, how do you feel the operation went with Sean Ryan, first full game at center? Just how did that connection kind of go through the last game?
Yeah, no, it was good. I think there's stuff to build on in terms of just, having a clean operation of us with our exchanges. But as far as, making calls, things like that, I think he did a good job of communicating to other guys, make sure we're all on the same page. And there'll be stuff for him to, build on personally, obviously. But, it's a good test. Obviously, Dexter Lawrence, he's going up against a really good, guy kind of sitting right in his lap the whole game. So it was a good test for him, but I think he did a good job.
Back to the Toyotathon, Jordan. I know it's kind of silly in a way. What do you think of all that? It is a big talking point. I don't know if you think about it all, but
no, I think it's just something that's cool. It's just something that obviously I think that the fans kind of took it and ran with it, and made it a thing. And so now it's here. But I think it's definitely interesting. You look at the stats and things like that. It's a wild scenario, but I think it's cool. And obviously some cool things have happened off of it.
So it's apparently, according to Toyota, it actually started last Sunday. So you got 30 touchdowns and 2 interceptions during Toyotathon. I don't care about the Toyotathon, but it is the second half of the season, which is the point of my question here. Why do you seem to get so much better as the season goes on?
Yeah, I think that's for everybody on our offense. I think we start to get in a better groove and start to get in that rhythm of making plays and going out there. And, I think for me it's just understanding, I've been through some games now throughout the season and understanding what I need to do in kind of every situation, just being smart with the ball and finding completions at all times, and then guys just making plays. But I think as the season goes on, I think we, build that confidence, getting a little bit of a groove in all phases and go out there and make plays.
Matt said earlier that Minnesota's defense is really good at forcing fumbles, applying pressure to the quarterback. What challenges do you think that Minnesota will present this Sunday?
Yeah, I always think it just starts with the different looks they present, pre-snap and obviously post-snap with the different pressures they bring. And it's one of those defenses that I think they're always applying pressure to the offense, and you got to be able to respond. And like you said, take care of the ball. I think they do a good job hunting the ball. And I think some of just the confusion they try and create and the chaos they try and create, kind of forces quarterbacks to make some bad decisions sometimes and get sped up with some of the pressures. So obviously, you just got to be smart with the ball, understand kind of what the different pressures they're bringing, the different looks I'm seeing, and knowing where to go with the ball and finding completions.
Obviously, Jaden didn't practice today yet, but he posted on social media a picture of him in full uniform. Mm-hmm. Have you talked to him a lot, and how much is he itching to get out there, A, and B, what does he mean to your offense when he is on the field?
Yeah, I think first and foremost, he brings a very dynamic aspect to our offense, and I think you've seen that over the last couple of years with him here. He's a playmaker, and obviously I think the last play of this season for him that he played before he got hurt was a touchdown, that obviously got called back, but definitely just a playmaker that we've been missing. So I don't know what the timeline is for him. Obviously he's itching, he's ready to get back, and he's been doing some good things on the side as well, but it's obviously a different offense when you have all your playmakers out there. So we've been missing him, and obviously can't wait to get him back.
In terms of running down the field, how hard is it to want to go out of bounds, to want to slide? Like on the hit you took on your left shoulder, it's one that in hindsight, I shouldn't have done that, but in the moment, how hard is it to not want to get those extra yards? Yeah,
it's hard. I think it's just a situation, and I think in that one, I tried to pump fake and thought I got the guy to get off his feet, and he did a good job of not really going for it, and I kind of got caught after that. So it's tough. It's a tough situation, but I think at all times you just got to be smart. I think taking a hit like that, puts it back in perspective. Like, I don't want to take these shots, and I got to get down and things like that. So you just always got to have in the back of your mind, be smart. Obviously, there's situations where sometimes it's needed. You got to try and go get that first down, but in that situation, you just got to be smart. But taking a hit like that definitely always kind of wakes you back up and be like, hey, let's be smart, let's slide and not take some of those shots.
Did the ref or the official say something to you? Because I thought for a second he told you to go get checked out. Was that part of it, or did he signal?
Yeah, he did. He thought that he said by the look in my eye, he thought it might have been a headshot and a maybe concussion. So he wanted me to go and do the the concussion protocol that they do. So I think it was normal for him, and I was trying to tell him that it wasn't my head, right. But you're not going to win that one. So just went out there. But he thought I might have taken a shot to the head.
So if he didn't tell you, hey, you got to go out, what would you?
Yeah, I don't know. I think after I got up and moved around, I would have started feeling that a little bit. But, it's tough to say. But, I think I probably would have ended up right where I was. Who knows when, though.
What's your confidence level in Luke?
Yeah, it's good. Obviously, like we've talked about before, with Tuck being down, he's going to have more opportunities. And, I think it's something we just got to keep building on with him. But I think he's been a guy who's made a lot of plays, and now it's just got to keep translating to the games and things like that. But he's done some good things, and I think we just got to keep building. And I think for him, it's having that confidence when he goes out there with everything he does, that he can go make plays. But everybody's confident, Luke.
So even when he's a good game like he had the other day, your confidence doesn't waver?
No, I mean, it's one of those things, like I said, with anybody, a drop pass or, things like that. You just got to play that next play. I think building guys up and always giving guys confidence, I think, is always the way to go, no matter who it is. So I think it's something that we'll just keep building with him. But no matter who it is, if it's me, having turnovers, I gotta have those guys around me that trust me to keep going out there and making plays, and know that the ball's gonna keep coming to you. You just gotta keep finding ways to improve and get better and better.
Is Josh kind of an interesting addition for you guys as far as what he can do? With that H-back role, I know Josiah.
Wiley?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And how he can kind of fit into multiple spots.
Yeah, no, it'll be interesting to see. Obviously, came in as a tight end, but I think any way you can get on the field and make plays will be important. And if that's what it is kind of being in that hybrid, kind of F, kind of Y role. It's it's whatever it takes, and I think that's his mindset too. Trying to get on the field, and obviously he had a pretty cool touchdown last week, so stuff to keep building on with him. But I think he's done some good things as well, and if he's got to play fullback, I think he'll have the right mindset to go out there and do it.
You're no stranger to poor weather games, to wind and cold. But when you're able to have as many passes downfield last week that just are on the money, what does that do for your confidence and maybe your play caller's confidence in doing more of that, even though it's getting colder and windier?
Yeah, I think for, first off, as the player, throwing it, I think it just, builds you up and gives you more confidence to keep throwing it the way you are. I think if you have a couple balls that come out, not the right way, you might be like, oh, I got to maybe adjust some things, and you might be thinking about it a little more. And then if you don't have that, you're just confident and just go out there and play. And that was kind of my mindset pregame, is obviously it's going to be windy, and I just got to, trust my fundamentals and understand how I got to throw it, and just got to come out as a tight spiral. If it doesn't, that wind will get to it a little bit. So, and then like you said with Matt, I think, he comes out and he sees that I'm confident and feeling good throwing the ball downfield, things like that. He'll continue to call those deep shots and, won't let the wind kind of be a factor for us.